trends of Nigeria. And
begins from home. But it seemed like for Atiku Abubakar, the race to Aso Rock begins from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. So what's your take on that?
Now, well, probably from his own standpoint, or let's say the campaign standpoint, probably they want to look at it, let us start alphabetical, from saying alphabetical order.
Okay.
Let's start from the A's, then from the A's we move down to the B's, then from the B's down like that. Probably that's the idea for them to say, okay, let's start from Akwa Ibom. So I wouldn't fault the idea, but it's a good one, starting from the East.
That's the South.
The South, rather. I think it's a good one. It's a good one for the PDP.
In addition to that, because Nigeria is a multicultural society, ethnic-wise and religion, most times it's better not to start from home politically, so people have a sense of belonging. Because since he started this race to become the president, he's always said, "I am the unifier."
Yes,
so if you are the unifier, why would you be starting from your base, the Northeast? Come and, throw your weight first in the South to show you want to unite the people.
Well, if you look at Atiku very well, you'll understand that he's a man of strategy. Okay. He understands exactly what he needs to do at a certain time. Now, if he decides to start from the South, it's not a bad idea. Yes, it's not a bad idea because everyone has been saying that the presidency should actually go to that particular part. So if he says the campaign should start from there, then they will feel a sense of belonging that, all right, someone from this, from the North Central who is coming to, someone who's come from the North Central saying, yes, I need your votes.
In a race where the people from the South feel he should not even be part of it in the first place, knowing that...
Not all of them. Some people feel he should be part of it.
Oh.
Yes, not all of them. Some people... If you go out there and ask people that, all right, who do you think should be the president? To some people will still tell you they feel Atiku because he has acted in the... he has been in the capacity as the vice president before. So he is definitely the man to actually take Nigeria to where it's supposed to belong.
Afolabi, you see, they say, a lot can happen in politics in 24 hours, but in 5 months, only God knows. In 4 months as we speak, nobody can tell what can happen as we speak. So let's just keep the flakes this way and get ready to meet our guest shortly. And those are the flakes we can serve you for this moment. Up next will be time for us to meet our guests. And our topic for today would be 2023 elections, delay in political campaign and the impact on electoral choices. That will be up next after this timeout. This is Talk Politics on Smooth 98.1. Stay tuned.
drama series like DJ anywhere, anytime. Watch DJ now streaming only on Showmax for just 1,200 Naira a month. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up at showmax.com.
Hi, Dad. Welcome home.
Hey, Tomiwa, how was school today?
School is great today. Daddy, guess what? Kamsi's back in school again.
Kamsi, isn't that the girl that is always top in your class?
Yes, Mom.
So, where has she been?
Her dad died. I thought I told you, Daddy.
Oh, dear. That's so sad.
Yes, Daddy. She stopped coming to school because there was no one to pay her school fees.
Oh, has she paid now?
I heard an insurance company paid her school fees. Now she can become a doctor she always wanted.
Awesome.
Kamsi said her mommy told her that her daddy got her an insurance for her school. So, Daddy, are you going to get one for me too?
God forbid.
But darling, Tomiwa has a point. We should get the same insurance policy. We must do it for the love of her dreams.
Yes, that's right. Quality education for your children must never be interrupted. Get the Old Mutual Education Protection Plan, EduSure, for your children today. Do it for the love of their dreams. Visit www.oldmutual.com.ng or call 01-700-5707 to get started. Imagine trying to cook a quick meal after a long day, only for gas to finish. Or just as your conversation is starting to make some.
Your call credit has been exhausted. Please recharge. Or
Don't get cut off when it matters most. Switch to Airtel Postpaid today and enjoy more calls, more data, and SMS for as low as 3,000 Naira. Visit any Airtel store to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy.
So let's establish a simple truth.
Now, listen, my society is underdeveloping because of an alien system on our people.
Talk politics on Smooth 98.1.
It's still Talk Politics on Smooth 98.1. We're back here, and it's time for us to meet our guest for this morning. But we told you the topic earlier on before we went on that quick break. It will be 2023 presidential election, that's the general election, delay in political campaign and impact on electoral choices. And to help us do justice to this topic will be someone who wears many caps. It was... He trained as a medical doctor at the University of Ibadan way back in time. Practiced medicine for over 20 years and then got bored. It's just a man who, whenever he gets tired of, a certain stage, he just reinvents himself. That's the good thing with our guest for today. He has so many things you can say about him. He's an educationist and, of course, a political analyst and an author. He has a book. One of my favorites is titled, the book is titled, Money is an Idiot. Can you imagine the title to a book? Well, this morning we make welcome Dr. Charles Apoki, all the way from Ughelli in Delta State. Good morning, Dr. Apoki. Hello, Dr. Apoki. Good morning to you. All right, we're still trying to establish signals there. When we do, we'll get back to you shortly. Stay tuned. Hello, Dr. Apoki.
How are you? Hello.
Good morning to you. We're glad to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I just reeled out your very impeccable pedigree, being trained as a doctor from the University of Ibadan and practiced medicine for over 20 years and then delve into many things. When you get bored, you just reinvent yourself. You're a political analyst, a proprietor of a school. And again, you're one of your book. It's called Money is an Idiot. I don't know. It just tells me the kind of person you are. So before we get into the conversation this morning, I'd like to quickly report your colleagues, your juniors to you. That's what it is. They are abandoning duty posts in fatherland. They are not patriotic as we speak. By the second, they are leaving the shores, the borders of this country every minute and second. I don't know what is happening. Who will take care of us when we are sick? By that, I mean to say that there's been some latest data from the UK and other parts of the world saying that Nigerian medics are all over the place. So what exactly can we do to get your doctors, your younger ones, to be patriotic? Let's start from there.
It's not a factor of patriotism. The average Nigerian is a very patriotic individual. I have a son that that is a surgeon in Germany, an orthopedic surgeon in Germany. When you are not valued, the tendency is for people to emigrate to where they will be celebrated instead of where they are being tolerated. So the movement of Nigerians outside, medical practitioners outside Nigeria to other countries is not a factor of lack of patriotism. The people who lead you, who rule you, they travel overseas for treatment. So if they were very patriotic, they should have stayed there to receive treatment so that the Nigerians can treat them. Ironically, when they travel overseas, it is Nigerian doctors that treat them. My classmate was head of the president of North England Gynecological Society. My classmates are one of the best surgeons and doctors in the world. And when Nigerians go overseas to America, to the UK, they're the ones that treat them. So nobody likes a lamp and hides it under a bushel. You have skills, you have intellect. Being a medical doctor requires a lot of intellectual capacity. And you won't want that wasted.
So
where they can shine.
How can we address this? Before, let's get into the meat of the conversation. How can we address this? It's enough to say they're not. Well, how do we reverse this?
If we need to reverse it, the average Nigerian likes home, build very good hospitals, functional hospitals. Olusegun Mimiko, my friend, when he was governor of Ondo State, built very good hospitals there with their PA project. I don't know what's happening to it. And the World Health Organization celebrated it. Build good hospitals, restore electricity, provide good roads, and then provide security. I don't want my son to come and be kidnapped by a bandit, then I'll go and start negotiating with bandits.
All right, Dr. Apoki, we'll leave it there. There may be some other days for us to get back to you on this conversation, but let's get into our topic for today, which is the delay in political campaigns and the impact on electoral choices as we get ready for the 2023 election. Once again, callers, you can reach us up on 014489981. There'll be a number for you to send your WhatsApp to on 0809-444-0981. So, Dr. Apoki, INEC lifted the veil on political activities just say about 2 weeks ago. And so far, 1 out of 18, just 1 over 18 is what we are seeing that has flagged off campaign formally, and that was on Monday. Where are the others in this race?
Okay, I will give you a two-pronged answer. Number one, the political dispensation we are in now is over.
Hello?
Number one. Yes, can you hear me?
Go ahead, yes, we're listening.
The political dispensation we are in now is overwhelming to 99% of the political gladiators. Let's take the APC, for example. Number one, they did not expect the emergence of people like Peter Obi in the political arena. And when that happened, the desire to outdoing, they came up with this Muslim ticket. And that Muslim ticket generated a lot of controversy. People like Dogara and their other Christians in the north are asking for boycott of the APC campaign structure. And as a result of that, a lot of juggling is going on to placate people and to balance a good campaign organization. Number two, when Tinubu submitted some names, the National Working Party, the party of the APC, the campaign coordination committee, did not accept it. Number three, the president is a member of the campaign organization and the head of it in the APC. So you have to work the schedule of the APC to match with that of the availability of the president. Number four, the APC presidential candidate has been going overseas frequently. I don't know what he's going to do there. And if he's not around, you can't kick off the campaign. Then, if you come to the PDP, Atiku has this wicked phenomenon, Wiki and his group, that he needs to placate. And if you cannot placate them, They have to find a way around it. So those are the things that maybe the PDP is working on currently. If you take the Peter Obi campaign organization, though they have flagged up, Peter Obi himself is overwhelmed by the response he has received. The Labour Party, I've been to the national headquarters of the Labour Party with Olusegun Mimiko when he wanted to be president. The Labour Party is overwhelmed by the response of Nigerians. And they are grappling with how to manage this structureless structure that has become like a momentum that is creating so much waste. Then if you take the NNPP, Kwankwaso has been going around, but he needs a balance from the southern part. And somebody like Bishop Odiri Daosa he picked does not have enough political structure and muscles to start to raise a campaign structure with him that can start immediately. The other smaller parties, some of them are radicals without evidence. When you are a radical and you don't have tangible evidence, you become a nuisance. And they don't even have campaign headquarters or anything anywhere. So that's why many of them have not picked up. That's one aspect.
All right.
The second aspect, hello?
We're listening. Go ahead. We're listening.
The second aspect is that the old gladiators of Nigerian politics assumed that we are still in 2015. They did not understand the power of social media. So campaigns have already started during the primaries and even before the primaries. Number one, the records of your speeches that you made while either campaigning for Buhari or campaigning for Atiku, or the ones Obasanjo made concerning you when you were vice president, those videos are coming up and they are helping people to make decisions. Number two, social media, the world existed in three realms before now. You have the spiritual realm where you have Kovun and you have all that. Then you have you have the physical realm. Then you have the social media realm, netizens. Netizens have been campaigning and discussing. And so choices have been made. Let me explain the way choices have been made. Number one, choices have been made based on the following categories in Nigeria. Choices are made by tribe. I asked somebody in my street who is a Yoruba man. I said, "Are you obedient?" He said, "No, how can he vote for an outsider when his brother, a Yoruba man, is contesting?" So choices have been made based on tribe. Choices have been made based on religion. Some people believe that so-so religious group should rule. Like the Muslim ticket has made some Christians not to choose that party, and at the same time made some Muslims to choose that party. So the other choices are based on political affiliation. There are people who practice what I call anywhere the left face politics. Anywhere their stomach can be filled politics, those people will remain where they get crumbs and get fed from. So those ones are going to be available. They make their choices based on parties and based on loyalty to a benefactor. There are other people who have made their choices, like Asari Dokubo. Asari Dokubo has made his choice that he will never leave Tinubu because Tinubu took care of his wife and children when he was in detention. So those are beneficiaries that have said they will follow their benefactors.
Dr. Apoki. Dr. Apoki. If I may come in here now quickly, let's just, because of our time, in your course of explanation, you mentioned Obi, inheriting what you call a structureless structure. What do you mean by that? Because that confirms what people have said that, well, people on the internet don't vote. Where is the structure on ground?
It is very, very archaic to say that people on the internet don't vote. If people can buy in the internet, I sell Gary in the internet, I sell my agricultural products in the internet, I do a lot of business transactions in the internet. The internet is not populated by spirits, it's populated by human beings. And so most of those you see in the streets today marching for Obi, they're from the internet. internet translates to physicality with time and passion and effort. So and a lot of those people have PVCs that have interviewed them and related with them. So this structureless structure is like a hurricane. A hurricane starts as cold wind passing over a warm ocean. Then it starts to spiral. Within a space of time, it forms an eye. Then it forms a structure that you can photograph. So that's what is happening in the OB movement.
That takes us to the next question here. And since some other persons have also said that it's because of the window that INEC has opened up that's making these politicians feel, or the political parties feel, they've got a lot of time on their hands. 5 months to play with. Take us back to 1999, 1998, when political campaigns started. After the military promised they were going back to the barracks. You see, some have argued that we've never had this length of time to really politique, to get people to come out. That's why people are just going to play it like a marathon instead of a sprint, like we've always treated elections.
You see, I agree with you to some extent. A lot of the primaries that took place between the former two major parties, the APC and PDP, depleted the resources of a lot of people. Imagine collecting a form for 100 million. Depleted the resources and spilled a lot of bad blood. So that created a political inertia. It's not that there is a lot of time. They don't have enough time to go around all the states and major cities like Atawolowo and Waziri in those days, Shagari did in those days during MPN, UPN, GNPP campaign. These people don't have that time. So they don't have enough time. It's just that what is happening is overwhelming those who are analog politicians and those who are digital politicians. Is overwhelming. The situation is overwhelming. My prayer is that INEC should be able to brace up to catch up with the massive turnout of voters.
Okay, since you've mentioned INEC, you just brought it right in time into the conversation. Let's just get there, because on Tuesday, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, was in the U.S. At a forum organized by what they call the National Endowment for Democracy. That's I'm trying to get that name rightly now, saying that he's worried about the political gladiators as we speak, because they seem to be beating drums of war, and that may affect the choices Nigerians make. What's your response to that?
The drums of, in fact, the politics of today has, to some extent, ameliorated the drums of war, particularly from the Labour Party perspective. Obi coming up has brought a unifying force of intellectuals and those who are angry with the present dispensation and those who are inclined towards a new Nigeria. And it has got, imagine the Middle Belt Forum approving of him. It has brought people from Southeast, South, to some degree Southwest, coming together, particularly young Nigerians without tribe and creed, forming a mass movement. It has unified Nigeria to some extent. The older generation, the oligarchic generation, are still playing the cards. What is likely to create crisis in this generation, in this dispensation, is if the followers of people like Obi perceive that they have been deprived of their right to victory, then crisis will come. Another likely cause of crisis is if people like MC Olumo in Lagos and his cohorts think that they can still play the politics he played in Aguda area of destroying ballot boxes on TV, and he will go free. It will not happen in this dispensation. The other thing is Kwankwaso factor in northern Nigeria. Kwankwaso is going to be a game changer. The emergence of Kwankwaso, Kanu, Kaduna, and some of the northern states, the people who have been the major players there might not want Kwankwaso to have a leeway or a freeway. That might generate crisis. So the likely crisis points are Lagos because of whoever is being portrayed as the youth wing or arm of strength of Tinubu in Lagos. Like recently, I saw flag boys in the third mainland bridge because they said you cannot, Labour Party people cannot put billboards or whatever. And people were traumatizing people. So the likely conflicts are not based on tribal or religious crisis. It's going to be based on the old beneficiaries of the rot in this country being afraid to lose the benefits that have accrued to them from the rot in this country.
All right, that's a fine place. Now, let's just get our listeners to know that they can be part of the conversation by reaching us on 014489981. That will be the number to reach us. So we expect your calls to come in. And of course, you can send us some WhatsApp messages on 0809-444-0981 will be the number to get those calls coming in. So let's get back. My guest is still Dr. Apoki, Charles Apoki. He joins us all the way from Uyeli, and we're sharing, looking at his thoughts on the issue we're looking at today. That's 2023 election, delay in political campaigns and impact of that it will have on electoral choices by Nigerians. And that brings me to the second issue Mahmoud raised in the U.S. Just a few days ago, saying that as he can confirm that so far about some persons, 2.7 million invalid voters have been kicked out of the register for double registration and several other malpractices. So it's a clean register. So what's that the impact? What do you think that news would have on the prospective voters as we speak, knowing that about 90,000 voters are up for grabs?
I must commend President Buhari and the INEC chairman for their pursuit to leave an efficient and credible, impartial umpire in Nigerian politics. I must commend that. I must commend Buhari for doing that and the INEC chairman. Now, you see, politics is very addictive. There are the following people that you can hardly convince or change. A woman in love, a woman who has a prophet as a pastor, and then a politician. The die-hard political class in some segments of this country still think that the game is still the same. They don't know that technology has overtaken their structures and their evil attitudes in the time past. So some people will still have gone to register twice. Then another thing is that some people will still have gone to register non-existent people. And so that's why you see sometimes you just see large volumes, large numbers of ballot boxes surfacing in gutters and drainages. They've become useless. You can't use them in this dispensation with beavers and electronic transmission. It was proven in the Edo State election with all the tigers and lions that used to fight and act as dogs. Beavers and a host of other things render them useless. So people will agitate, people will try to scuttle the system, but technology is more than their stupidity.
All right, so the next question will be, as we speak now, what kind of issues are you expecting the candidates to throw up when they get to meet the populace who would vote? Well, let's quickly see. Chris from Lagos has sent in a message. Let's go ahead and take the message because the messages are still trying to load. And Chris here says that campaigns cost humongous amounts of money. Political parties will burn out before the main action. That's why they're slowing down. They're reserving their resources, both financial and fiscal energies, like just resonating the facts you mentioned earlier on, that they're just treating it like a marathon, not a sprint like it used to be in the time past. But back to the question now. What are some of those issues you would like to see candidates engage the prospective voters with as they step out gradually?
Okay. You see, you don't treat a patient. Each patient is different, even with the same disease. The same thing is that each nation is different at each particular dispensation. You don't step into the same river twice. New water will have flown into the place. The challenges that are facing us in Nigeria today, number one, insecurity. How will you tackle insecurity? Number two, where the University of Ibadan and the university ranking is very far behind universities like universities in Mauritius. Then, our educational sector. Number 2, our health sector. I've never seen, when I was in medical school in the University of Ibadan between 1979 and 1984, the King of Saudi Arabia used to send his family members for treatment in the University College Hospital. Today, headache, catarrh, pimples, our politicians run to the UK for treatment. And medical tourism has become a drain on our financial resources, just like our educational tourism has become a drain. Most of the East European countries, like where my children school, it is the school fees of Nigerians that are used to power the educational sector. Even in Cotonou, even in Ghana. So the next thing is our educational sector, our fiscal policies, monetary policies. Our dollar rate the Nigerian naira has fallen very drastically. Then we need to look at productivity. We were producing batteries in Nigeria, tires in Nigeria, several other products in Nigeria. Today we import nearly everything, including toothpick, office pin, eraser, and I'm sure we are importing, I suspect we might be importing second-hand coffins. So Nigeria, as an import-oriented nation, we need to stop that drain. The next thing is our economy, our health sector, and then corruption. Corruption. There is so much elite capture, If you check how much is budgeted for cutleries in Aso Rock, in Shibanjo's house, you will be amazed. The budget for Aso Rock Clinic alone at 1 year was more than the total budget for the 16 or so teaching hospitals. It will surprise you to know that we pay house rent for our presidential palace. You know, Nigeria pays house rent for Aso Rock. Who do we pay the rent to? Then the next thing is oil theft. Then the another thing we need to handle is impunity.
All right, Dr. Apoki.
So much impunity in this country.
Just a moment. We need to go on a break right now. After this time out, you take up from where you stop. Thank you so much. It's still Talk Politics on Smooth 98.1 FM. When we come back, we'll take your calls on 014489981. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They call me M.I., Mr. Incredible, short black boy, the chairman, and you are listening to Smooth 98.1. Don't even think about touching that dial.
You summon the oracle now. Greetings, my king. How can the oracle serve you? You will tell me the secret to your power. How did that kete move without a driver? My secret is the power of 5G. Tell me more about the power of 5G. With hyper-fast internet speeds, low to zero lag and buffering, multiple connections and quality data sharing, 5G will give you amazing things like remote surgeries, self-driving vehicles, 5 downloads at 2 GB per second, smart homes, instant language translation, and so much more. 5G's amazing technology will change the way we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible. And remember, no be juju, now MTN 5G.
Every busy morning, I care for my family, so I always give them quicker instant oatmeal. No story, it's easy to prepare. Just add hot water. I can choose my flavor, chocolate or vanilla. Quicker instant oatmeal, quicker instant oatmeal. Easy to make and tasty.
Quaker instant oatmeal. Goodness that lasts.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winning. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make a deposit easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Click 1xBet.ng now
Now, to get registered, use Best Odds NG as promo code to get 300% bonus up to 189,280 naira on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to win. 1xBet, the reliable bookmaker.
2023, Atiku Abubakar. See, we don't articulate. Unity of the country, articulate. Security, articulate. Education, articulate. Economy, articulate. Employment, articulate. Infrastructure, articulate. Devolution of more resources, articulate. And power, articulate. To the federal unity, articulate. One nation, articulate. One future, articulate. One country,
PDP!
Nigeria was being described as the showcase of democracy.
So let's establish a simple truth.
Now, listen, my society is underdeveloping because of an alien system on our people.
Talk politics on Smooth 98.1.
It is still Talk Politics on Smooth 98.1 FM. I still got our guest here, Dr. Charles Apoki, all the way from Ughelli, being part of the show today. The topic has been, still is, 2023 presidential general elections, delay in political campaign, and the impact on electoral choices. Dr. Apoki, just for confirmation, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just so quickly, while we're on that break, we got some messages in, and so let's quickly just see what it is and then get back to your points you were making earlier on. And this one from Dozier says, I will strongly disagree with your analyst. Were overly stated that Obi, who has overly stated that Obi, what has he done now? What has Obi done? Has been overwhelmed by the level of support and unity he has gathered amongst the youth ever since his emergence as a Labour Party presidential candidate. Obi knew he had massive support. Therefore, in order not to fail his supporters, he decided to make that quantum leap to Labour, with most politicians who claim they had structure will never dare to attempt. Chidoze sent that one in. How would that be the only message? Let's see if we've got one more there. That one here from, who else? Okay, that's from the same person, right? Okay, this one says, good morning, Chibuike. I want to say strongly that Lagos is already a flashpoint of violence. Dr. Apoki mentioned that earlier on now, where he mentioned some other sports in the country where we should be flagging down now ahead of the elections. And then it goes on to say, we recall that in previous elections, it is either people are not allowed to vote due to threats to life, hoodlums invading voting centers, destroying voting materials, and injuring people. It says he advised Tinubu to really address the issues by cautioning his supporters to desist from intimidating rival political party supporters by thugs. And then what else would he say here? INEC should endeavor to allow citizens collect PVCs seamlessly. They should devise many ways to distributing them. Access to our PVCs is vital to ensuring that people's choices are reflected in the overall results to be announced. Well, still building on the points you made earlier on. We'll let one message from Emeka hang on there while we get back to Dr. Apoki. Apoki, you were just going to land on some other points you were talking about.
Okay, let me quickly reel out some of the issues I've been seeing on my YouTube channel and Facebook channels. Number one, elite capture.
When you say elite capture, what does it mean?
Elite capture is when there's a law called the iron law of oligarchy. The iron law of the oligarchy, I have a master's in public administration apart from being a medical doctor.
My bad, I left that out.
The iron law of the oligarchy states that when a group of people come together to form an organization, a time comes when only the oligarchy, the top, form an iron group that the poor do not benefit from the system. Okay?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Now, a governor in one of the states gets 2 billion naira as security votes every month that is unaudited For 8 years, he will leave office with 192 billion. And if he was a senator before he became a governor, he will receive pension as a governor, as a senator. Then he will receive pension after 8 years as a governor. He will receive 300% of his salary. Then he will have one house either in Abuja, one in Lagos or wherever he is from, and security and stewards, and they will change his card. But the pensioners that taught him in secondary school have not been paid their pension for 5-6 years. And one crazy fellow will go and tear gas his grandfather's age mate in front of a secretariat. So elite capture. There is a disproportionate amount of money spent only on a few citizens in this country that sit in the Senate as if they are in beer parlors and don't do anything. We must end that. The cost of governance is too much. Number 2, we should be talking about oil theft. Oil theft. Until Peter Obi raised the issue of oil theft recently, we didn't know how much oil is going out of this country. Number 3, the issue of subsidy. Let me tell you about subsidy. Some people load oil, crude oil from our terminals. They have ships in the high sea that are modular refineries. They will refine the crude oil they have stolen in the refinery. They will load it into another vehicle, another vessel, that will bring the same product to Nigeria, our stolen crude, bring the refined product to Nigeria and sell and collect subsidy.
All right, Dr. Apoki, we're running out of time right now, but quickly, let's just, if you can do this for us in a minute now, let's just sum up this last question in just a minute. How important is President Muhammadu Buhari's utterances and body language of free election going to, determine voters coming out to, cast their vote?
I think Buhari has done very well in recent times. I think that if he continues like this, he will leave a good legacy behind. Okay. And he has not used the FCC to pursue his political opponents. And if the police and the army and the security agencies can maintain neutrality but fairness, then we'll have a good election.
Well, it looks like a fine place for us to rest it this morning, Dr. Apoki. We want to say thank you so much for your time. If you just joined in, well, you missed a great deal. It will be next time, next Thursday, for you to join us on the show on Smooth 98.1 Talk Politics. Our guest today has been Dr. Apoki. I don't know, his portfolio is just so heavy, medical doctor trained at the University of Ibadan, practiced medicine for over 20 years and then moved on to other things. And the author of the book, grab it if you can, Money is an Idiot, he calls it. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right. And so as we leave you with the final touch this morning, I just want you to know that in politics, quickly, this is the last line before we leave, and this is